We've got our header looking how we want it to, and we just got it set up so that we can actually use it to navigate to other pages just as expected. Let's go ahead and continue polishing this up by now making sure that we correctly set the active tab based on the route that we're currently on. I'm here in the code editor, and the first thing that we'll do is actually scroll on down into our actions where we are creating the icon button and the image. And one thing that I forgot from the last video, we actually want this onClick handler to be on the icon button, not on the image. Because the icon button is what tells the page that this is something clickable, and for accessibility reasons, that's better than just putting the onClick on the image itself. Alright, but one thing I noticed when we do this, if we go ahead and save that, if we flip on over and we shrink the page down and now we try to open up our drawer, it doesn't open up anymore. And that's because the onClick is interfering with the component and the link props that control our navigation. So what we need to do is make sure that we only apply these props for those actions that need them and not for the menu button. Okay, so we can do this if we check for the action.onClick, and then if that's true, well, and we do have an onClick, that means that we don't want this to be a link. So what we can do is just pass undefined, and that will be as if we didn't set the prop at all. Okay, and we can do the same thing for the to prop, action.onClick, and if that's true, undefined, otherwise we'll set the action.link. Alright, but if we go over and inspect our console here, it looks like we were getting an error. And this one I think is because we had the onClick on the image, and here it's telling us that we need to pass a link to the to prop, and that's actually because we also don't have a link set up for our search. Okay, so we need to add, remember here we have the link for cart and link for account, but not the link for our menu or for our search icon. So we also should check if the action has an onClick, or instead of adding an extra check down here, it'd be easier to actually just add an onClick to our search so that it will fall under that same criteria. And we can just make this for now, console.log, the string of search. Alright, we can go ahead and save that, flip back on over, I'm going to refresh the page, and we've got rid of all the console warnings, or errors rather. Alright. And now if we go and try to open this up, we see we've got our drawer appearing once again. Alright, and one other thing we didn't do in the last video is we actually didn't set up these list items in our drawer to actually navigate us. Okay, so we need to have those navigate us just like the tabs do. So we can come up to our list item, and let's go ahead and make it a component of link. And then for the route that we want to go to, we'll set this equal, and remember here, we're just getting this from our categories.node.name, but for this extra contact us that we have tacked on here, we get it from the link. So we'll need to add both of those, so it'll be to either the route.node.link for contact us, or if that isn't existing for all the other ones, let's do backticks so we can inject into a string slash and the $ curly braces to inject a variable, the route.node.name .to lowercase. Alright, we should be able to save this and flip on over, and now if we click on this link, we're actually navigated over to hats. We can open this up, see for hoodies, shirts, and for contact us. Alright, so that's going really well. Now what we want to do here is make sure that we set some sort of indication here for what tab we're actually currently on. Alright, so that means that one of these should be darker or highlighted or something like that. And if we have our tabs, you can see that we've got our hats tab is highlighted and the other ones are more opaque. But we've just hard-coded this in right now. If we go to our tabs, we've set the value of 0, and this is the index of the tab that we want it to be active. So since we set 0, that's the first tab here, our hats, and that is why that is appearing active. If we went and change that to 1, and saved, then you see that now hoodies is selected. Okay, so we need to actually find the correct route that we're on and set that as our active tab. So let's first, under our pages folder, let's go ahead and duplicate the index.js, and we'll just create a dummy component for each of our routes right now so that when we actually navigate to the page, we'll still see our header and not the 404 page. So I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this once for hats.js. We'll duplicate that for hoodies.js and duplicate once more for shirts.js. Okay, and in each of these, make sure we change both the function name here and the default export at the bottom. So we'll change both of those to shirts page. Go ahead and save this, although I'll just go and throw in some text here, just a regular paragraph tag of shirts, just so we can see where we're at. Go ahead and save that. And then we'll do the same over on hoodies. Change the function name and the export to hoodies page. Whoops. And then inside of here, we'll just add a paragraph, says hoodies. Save that and do the same for hats. All right, go ahead and save that. Let me flip back on over. Now we should be able to navigate, and actually it's not going to be there yet because those pages are created at build time by Gatsby. So we'll have to go ahead, stop our Gatsby server and go ahead and restart that. All right, and let that finish running, and then we should be good to go. All right, and now we should be able to go and click on our links, and we see our content is rendered there. And we see that we changed in the browser to /hoodies. We can do /shirts and hats as well. And we didn't make the contact page. Make sure we go ahead and do that. Sorry about that. Let's go ahead and duplicate for the contact page. All right, and if you refresh, then you should be able to now go to contact as well. All right, and remember, we'll move this content down underneath our header in just a minute, but let's keep focusing on just getting the active tab set correctly. Okay, and we need to actually make sure that our button here takes us to the home page. So let's go back to our header.js and scroll down to where we have our button wrapping our logo, and let's make sure we give this the component prop, set it to a link to, and this will just be to /. Go ahead and save that, and now this will take us home. All right, so now we're all set to actually wire up which of these tabs we're currently on.